college students, the speech is almost interesting to us because the topic of drinking is so controversial for us, which brings me to my topic of prohibition, which happened in the 1920s up till about 1930. It was about a 10 years time span. And what this is, what it is, and what occurred from it, and what it is today. And what it is basically the prohibition of alcohol is illegal to have it, illegal to sell it. Basically, you couldn't have alcohol of any sort. And then it was brought about in 1917, but it didn't fully come into effect till 1920 by the 18th Amendment. And then why they had this was the temperance movement, which is mostly about a lot of old ladies thinking that alcohol is bad because, like, still today, a lot of poor families and whatnot, a lot of household males would come back drunk, spend all their money on alcohol, which caused for bad things. And also for this was World War I, and a lot of German breweries were manufacturing beer. So because of this, it was like a turn away from the Germans. And then also they used the wheat for the food and whatnot for the U.S. troops. And then with that, how people respond to this, they built speakeasies, which are hidden bars. And with that, in Cleveland, there was 1,200 legal bars at the time. And then in 1923, when it was illegal, there were 3,000 illegal bars. So it basically doubled. And with that, there were 10,000 stills. And a still is basically like your bathtub gin. And it's like homemade, it's your moonshine. Basically, people just started making their own booze. And with this, you would have your gangs and whatnot. And with the gangs, you'd have Al Capone, which is your famous Chicago-based mafia leader. And the only reason why he went under was because he didn't pay his taxes, which is kind of funny. And then with that, you'd have Bonnie and Clyde, Babyface Nelson, and with all these people, towards the end of it, when when Prohibition ended, it was towards the Great Depression. So a lot of people actually liked these people because they were changing how the U.S. was formed. So they weren't really against all these criminals because they were with it, and half the police payroll was being bribed by the mafia leaders. So when police actually came to bust citizens for it, there was such a low turnout rate for it that the police didn't even show up half the time for the investigations. And then with that, the gangs provided almost an estimated $300 million worth of budget spending. And then one of the reasons why the prohibition stopped was because of the St. Valentine's Massacre, which was with Al Capone and another gang, and it was basically a big shootout over alcohol control in Chicago. And then in Roosevelt, on December 5th in 1933, ended the prohibition by the 21st Amendment, which made it legal to have certain types of alcohol and certain sorts of it and certain ways of producing it, but it didn't make alcohol completely legal. And with that, it was also known as the Collin-Harrison Act. And then for us college students, the speech, with all the info stated in Prohibition, we still don't know if drinking should be good, if it should stay or not. There's many controversial things with drugs like today, but people just have a natural occurring thing for alcohol and other mind-altering substances. Even when you're a little kid, you'd even spin around and you'd get dizzy, but you'd get enjoyment out of it. People just have a natural occurring thing for that. And so now you get a gist of why Prohibition happened and the good and bad effects of it. And no one will ever live in a perfect society, so there'll always be bad effects from something. And with that, when you're 21, of course, go out, have a drink, and feel how you want to feel about it.